a status quo. The point of being a comedian is to establish a status quo and then push on the boundaries of the status quo. You go into the Trump rally, the jokes that you're going to be writing for the rally are going to be things that are going to be, you think, aligned with the way that they see the world. And so if all of your jokes are about, are just racist jokes, if all of your jokes are just racist jokes, whether or not you think they're funny, the thing that you are saying as a comedian is that you understand that the audience is racist. Whether or not you think it's funny.
Trump's childhood friend who called Kamala the Antichrist.
My point is that you were mixing in what the comedian said with what other people said. Right. So I think they should be viewed differently. I do think that there is Donald Trump has found a way since he entered politics in 2016 to do something that's very unconventional that nobody else in politics is really doing, which is that he makes his events entertainment.
The problem is even the audience of the rally thought that the joke was bad. Yeah, but I don't really accept that at face value. The thing is that I think a lot of the people in the audience, one, there were a lot of people in the audience I found it hilarious, but there were a lot of people that were like, we're not supposed to be saying this kind of stuff out loud. We're not supposed to be saying this kind of stuff out loud. We're supposed to make it into a political message. When Donald Trump, the person that I'm fucking voting for, is saying that that immigrants have criminality in their genes, when they're saying that we need to invoke a law that was used for fucking internment camps in the United States to deal with legal immigrants. When they say that immigrants are coming across the border to fucking rape your kids and traffic them or whatever, and that they're all murderers and shit. That's the type of thing that they want to hear because there's plausible deniability. It helps them with their resentment for brown people generally. But then when you start turning it into a joke and you start being a little bit too open about things like statements about Jews or whatever, it's going to be uncomfortable largely, in my opinion, because you're being a little bit too candid about it.
He makes them comedy. When people come out to see Donald Trump, it's a different feeling than just listening to.
Are you getting this audience sentiment? What do you mean?
To a policy speech.
Well, that's why. I mean,
you may like that or not.
With which part? The people saying that the audience didn't like it, or with me saying that there were people in the audience that did like it?
Not like that, yeah. But I do think that you're...
the latter. I think it's probably... I think a lot of people are basing it on either the sound of the audience, that they didn't hear a loud uproar of laughter. You can look at the background. You can see the people laughing behind it. You know that it got laughs. But it's probably largely going to be the media afterwards trying to distance themselves from it. I would suspect. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if there was either awkward, nervous laughter from some people. Be like, I don't know, this is kind of far. Yeah, I don't know. But the thing that I find ironic is not about the crowd themselves or pulling the crowd on. The fact that this professional comedian came to this event with only racist jokes written. The fact that this famous comedian came to the rally with only racist jokes. That's what I'm pointing to.
8 years of this, if the response from Trump critics is "you're Hitler," that's just not hitting home, because whatever it is that people are seeing, that's not it.
No, it's a show. I mean, I called him, he's the Mick Jagger of politics in the sense that Jagger's 80, Trump's 78. It is a show. You turn up, there are about 30 speakers of increasing celebrity status. It was like being at a big music festival where the band gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Then you're into J.D. Vance and Elon Musk and Melania Trump.
Elon Musk.
And then the big one, the headline act, on comes the big rock star. That's how he does this. Yeah. That's his old television hat on, understanding entertainment. And Madison Square Garden, of course, is an iconic venue. It's the heart of Manhattan. It's the place where you would least expect to see a Republican rally.
It's not a swing state.
And at one stage last night, every single network, main network and cable network in America was taking it live, including many your old employers, MSNBC, who vowed not to take any of his rallies. For $1 million, which is what it cost him to rent that venue, he's getting about $100 million worth of publicity. That's got to be good politics. Never mind anything else.
Oh, I think so. I mean, if you're just like analyzing it in terms of like whether it helped him or hurt him, there's something powerful about going into your opponent's territory, selling out a big arena, and
then saying all of the things that they accused you of believing.
That type of press. So
yeah, really good press. Yep. Good job.
In that sense,
spending so much money with such a big audience to prove the Democrats correct. Yeah.
I think it was politically a win for Donald Trump.
Destiny, where are we with this race? Because the polling suggests that it's a knife edge, too close to call. But if I'm a Democrat looking at the swing state polling in particular, I'm pretty nervous right now.
But the swing state polling doesn't really show you anything different than that. It is nerve-wracking. Yeah, you could be nervous. But it's not nervous as in like, oh wow, Trump's going to win all the swing states, and that would be a wrap. But
if I'm a Democrat looking at the swing state polling in particular, I'm pretty nervous right now.
I think as an American, I'm pretty nervous. It feels like there is just like a totally different standard that both sides can play by. It's really funny listening to the idea that one statement in a 6-hour entire rally, can't be used to convict Trump or his campaign or the rally. Meanwhile, when it comes to Democrats, you guys will pick out like one line from somebody, and that will be fair to characterize their entire speech. They're absolutely not as bad as each other. Because the difference is that while Trump will have
in terms of picking out lines from lengthy speeches, I think both sides play that game equally
Yeah, but the
hard.
problem is somebody will pick out, say, the Biden line where he talks about MAGA Americans, and then when you read the speech immediately after, he goes, not all Republicans are MAGA Americans, it's a minority of the party. It's just these people that deny, for instance, the election outcome, right? He'll specify, he'll clarify. Whereas for Trump, you can pick out lines, and these lines are not only consistent with everything else that he says, they're consistent with the policy that he advocates for and tried to pass in government. We're living in two completely and totally separate worlds where the standards for both sides are just out of this world.
So why is it that he may win? After everything that happened in the first term, after the way it ended, after the fact he was dead and buried really 2 years ago. I mean, I remember Ron DeSantis being way ahead in the polling to be a Republican nominee.
Yeah, before he ever talked to a single voter.
Right. But obviously but actually you could chart Trump's recovery was when the Justice Department started going after him in all sorts of different legal actions, and that is when you can see Trump's popularity starting to go up.
I totally disagree. It started to go up when he started to be more active in campaigning.
He went out to defend himself against all the legal charges.
He hasn't defended himself against any legal charge, to be clear. His defense is, I need criminal immunity. That's his defense. There was nothing was defensible. He didn't deny a single thing. He didn't say anything didn't happen. He said, I need criminal immunity from the things I'm being charged with. I can't possibly commit crimes.
Nobody has more aggressively defended themselves against criminal charges than Trump.
Name one defense. What's the defense for the Mar-a-Lago thing?
Nice. Okay.
What's the defense for the conspiracy to overturn the election
thing? You're conflating what I mean by defense with
oh no,
with your idea of defense.
No.
My idea of defense is like you say, this is why I didn't commit a crime. No, right. I did commit a crime and I need immunity. Like immunity by definition legally is not a defense,
but in relation to the one that he's actually being convicted of, I still think it was an absolute farce and a woeful act of self-harm by the Democrats who fueled this to go after Trump first for a bit of paper shuffling over paying a porn star off 18 for a fling 18.
Paper shuffling after paying a porn star off for what? What do you mean paper shuffling?
Years ago, which he denies ever having.
How many months did we have Hillary Clinton's emails being the front and center story for the news? How much did we hear about Hunter Biden and his cock and his crack addiction or whatever? Who's, by the way, still not running for president?
How could Bill Clinton, when he was actually president of the United States, have sex with an intern in the Oval Office and then lie about it to the American people? And it's not him that gets dragged through a criminal court. It's Trump over a fling with a porn star 18 years ago.
Hold on, and I could be wrong because I'm younger. I'm only 35, okay? My understanding is that Bill Clinton was impeached in the House, and that Bill Clinton was...
But he was never criminally charged.
And then because he didn't... I don't think he committed necessarily a crime. I think
he paid off Paula Jones $850,000
they're not even
for a sexual harassment
Bill Clinton
case.
is disgraced.
They're not even close because he's a Democrat.
No. Bill Clinton is disgraced in the Republican Party, and Donald Trump is the hero of the Republican Party. They're not even remotely similar to how the parties treat them.
Yeah, but Bill Clinton's a Democrat, and he still speaks at the DNC.
Time I've not seen. We're doing Bill Clinton now?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I am very much doing Bill Clinton.
Did he overturn an election? Did he send a mob to the Capitol to overturn an election?
I just told you what he did.
No, but I'm asking you what he did compared to Trump.
Well, he had sex with an intern in the Oval Office and then